Hello guys, this is the Gaming Revolution here, and the hype has kicked in because the Der EISENDRACHE gameplay trailer has just been released, and this is absolutely insane. This isn't just like the original trailer giving us little snippets, it's giving us some actual gameplay, and I'm going to be breaking down every little thing that I can find. Now at the moment the trailer has just been released as of making this video, and there's not a single breakdown, so I'm sorry out there at the moment, so I'm sorry if I get anything wrong or if I miss anything out. But everything that I'm going to be showing is going to be stuff that I've found and noticed myself. So straight away when you jump into it, it's very, very interesting because guess what? Well, Tank Dempsey is actually the announcer, and for the poster that we got released for Der EISENDRACHE, he was the center of the image. So for some reason, he's going to be the main character on this map. Unlike Richtofen in the majority of the other maps, he's always been the main premise of the storyline. But I think Dempsey's definitely going to be he's going to play a key figure in this map. Now straight away when we get to see this map, it shows this dragon, which then fades out, and you'll understand why this map is obviously called Der EISENDRACHE, which translates to the Iron Dragon in English, in a sec. Because obviously later on in the trailer you actually get to see it, but here we actually get to see a full layout of the map, of the center of the actual castle, and we can see the castle's very, very destroyed. I think that might have something to do with the rockets, which it shows later on in the trailer, or it could have something to do with a dragon or being that has caused that to happen, or some sort of boss. Now we can actually see the generators as well, which is going to be, I would assume, some way to either turn on the power or power something, or maybe actually open pack a punch or something like that on this map. I'm sure they'll turn something, I'm sure that'll have something to do with it. Now as the trailer progresses, we get to see the gondola, and we get to see a look of the city in the bottom of the actual screen, and I believe you will actually be able to get down there in this part of the map, whether that's during the Easter egg or something like that. I believe you'll be able to get down there, and we can see the rockets down there as well in the distance. Now inside the gondola there's this weird blue thing that's glowing, and I don't know what it is for the life of me, but there's some sort of weird blue thing that's glowing. I'm not sure what that is, but you can let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. And then it shows tank, and then it goes into the actual layout of the map that we've already seen, so we get a nice look of it there, and this is just getting so hype right now. And we get to see this area of the map where a lot of the element 115 is actually kept, and we get to see this machine in the center, and I believe that's going to have something to do with these generators that are going to be around the map. As he said, you're probably going to have to turn on these generators, and we get to have a look at speed color and also all of these maps on screen. Now this is very, very interesting because it now shows the rocket, and we know there's actually 3 rockets. There could be more on this map, and we believe this has got something to do with Moon. And guess what he says? He says that the German war machine must be stopped. Now we heard this as a quote by Dempsey when we actually played on the Giant. He said a similar thing, and this is what he was referring to. Now this is actually so insane. So I believe he's either going to be trying to stop these rockets from being launched, or he's actually going to be launching them for himself. However, I think he's on a suicide mission because he hints at that later on in the trailer. So what he may actually be doing is he may be shooting these rockets with him actually inside it and the other characters, and they may actually end up dying within the Easter egg. Now this isn't confirmed or anything, but he did say that he is on a suicide mission, so I'm not sure if that's what he was hinting at, but we're definitely going to be shooting these rockets within the Easter egg at some point, or maybe they'll just happen automatically at a sequence within the game. But this is so cool. This is actually so cool. Now, a lot of people think that we could be actually blowing up the moon with these rockets, which would make a lot of sense to the storyline if they're going to be trying to rewrite history and they're trying to put things right and stuff like that. Now, you've also got to bear in mind that the Richtofen that we're going to be playing as on this map is the same one from the Giant and the same one from the original storyline, but the other 3 characters are not. It's in another parallel universe to the Giant, although the events of the Giant have been happening in multiple different parallel universes due to Richtofen going through parallel universe, through parallel universe, through parallel universe, etc. So the events have happened and unfolded in multiple different parallel universes, and this is just one of them. Now in the right we can see some sort of object. I'm not entirely sure what it is. It kind of looks like element 115, but I'm not sure. It just looks very, very peculiar, so I thought I'd show that. And also notice the iron crosses on this rocket, as it is like a German research facility. Now you have no idea how good this map is looking at the moment. Now in the bottom right we get to see something that kind of looks like a power, so it could be a power switch, it could be returning. It looks similar to the Giants, but I don't think it will. Maybe there'll be a power switch on this map, or you'll actually have to turn on the power in some other way. I'm not entirely sure. And once again there's something weird that's glowing blue down there. And then guess what? Well, guess what? The teleporters are returning. They're the same ones that we've seen on the Giant, and I'm really actually glad about that. Now this area where these teleporters are, if you actually notice, they look very, very similar to the crazy place from Origins. They look very, very similar. And also on the left of the image, there is in fact explosives there, and I'm sure that's going to play a huge part within the Easter egg. Those explosives are definitely going to do something. Now I'm not sure how you get to this area where these teleporters are, whether you teleport in from another teleporter or something like that, but this is going to be a very significant place in the Easter egg. As I said, it looks very, very similar to the Origins crazy place, and there's lots of lights and stuff lighting up the area, and it just looks really cool. Now I think this actual spot could actually be set in the ice caves, because we know there's actually ice caves set near the Hohenwerfen Castle in Austria where this map is set, and maybe this is actually underground, this area where these teleporters are. But then the trailer actually gets more hectic. It shows this area on the map where it shows this massive machine in the center. I'm not sure what that does, whether that's how you pack a punch or something like that. I'm not sure, but whatever this machine is, it's going to play a huge part on this map. And in the background, we actually see, on the left, we can actually see there is, in fact, the Cerberus head from Mob of the Dead on the actual stained glass window, and that's because later on in the trailer, guess what? Well, that statue of that actual dragon will actually turn into a creature which is very, very similar to the Cerberus from Mob of the Dead, and I'm going to talk more about that when it shows up on screen. But this object in the center is going to play a big significance. We can see sonar radars and all sorts being used here. They're definitely using this for some sort of warlike thing that they're going to be doing on this map. I'm just getting so excited. It's actually insane how good this map, and then it says Der EISENDRACHE, and it's not actually pronounced Der EISENDRACHE, it's pronounced Der EISENDRACHE, so I'm sorry if I keep on pronouncing it wrong. And right here we can actually see one of the mystery box locations, and we can see the mystery box light, and we get a very nice overview of the entire castle, and obviously there's all of the iron crosses around as well. And then we get to see the characters run up, and we're about to see some actual gameplay. And right down there we actually see one of the turrets. There's going to be turrets on this map. I'm not sure whether they're going to be usable, or whether it's going to be usable within the Easter egg, like shooting something or something like that. But I definitely think there's more bosses on this map than meets the eye. And we got to see a Gobblegum location that was right there as well. Then we get to see the Shiva in use, although no one wants to use that. And guess what? Guess what? The freaking Panzer Soldats are returning. But this is insane. I'm not entirely sure, but if you look at the actual character inside, his eyes are glowing green. And the actual character is glowing green. Now this is weird because it makes me sort of think that what if some other creature other than Samantha is controlling this Panzer Soldat, and what if it's Cthulhu? Because it would make sense, because Shadows of Evil tied into Cthulhu, and I think that this theme is actually going to be returning in some of the maps, and maybe only slightly, but I believe the last DLC is where it'll all come together in terms of Cthulhu. But I just find it weird why the eyes are glowing green. Is it someone else controlling him other than Samantha, such as Cthulhu, or could it be someone else? I'm not sure, but it's not the same person who turned into the Panzer on Origins, and this actual Panzer suit is much upgraded, and I'm just look at this, these freaking orbs of electricity around the map. They appear to be some sort of trap that you can activate, and it causes them all to be electrified. As I said, I think it's a trap, maybe it's not a trap and there's some other way to activate it, or maybe it activates at random times and it could actually hurt you as well. If so, that'll be horrible. But right on here to the left we can see some sort of green object, and then we can actually see some sort of other object behind it. I'm not sure what it is. It kind of looks like a massive rock of element 115, but I could be wrong. Then we see some things that are glowing red. Obviously these ritual type things are returning. And we can see some very, very weird structures here, which I'm not really sure. I can't make out what they are because they're all just made up, things like that. And for some reason, they keep on showing the STG in this trailer, even though it's not really a good gun, to be honest, in zombies. The other snipers are all better than it. And then we see them just run off, and this is just absolutely crazy. Then we get to see Nikolai Belensky, Edward Richtofen, Takeo Masaki, and then we see Tank Dempsey. And right here we see the rocket, and this is right here where he actually says it's a suicide mission, and this is why I think he may actually, the characters may die on this map, as we know that it says on Shadows of Evil that Primus will fail, referring to the Origins characters. So could they fail on this map? Could they be going on a suicide mission? I'm not entirely sure, but whatever it is, we're going to be shooting these rockets at something, whether that's the moon or something else in the world. I'm not sure. And guess what? Well, the death machine is returning also on this map, which is insane. A lot of people have actually been speculating about this, and I was actually going to make a video about this too, but never got around to it. Now, I am so hyped for this map. There is so much stuff that has been added. I think it's going to be a massive improvement from Shadows of Evil. And then what the hell happens here? He goes into this weird object, and it shoots him back up to the Hohenwerfen and Castle. So there's some sort of object on the map which propels you in the air, and it takes you down to the city or the little town that's below the Hohenwerfen and Castle. And I presume once you're down there, you have to do something. Maybe that's how you pack a punch. There's something down there that it actually allows you to pack a punch. That would make a lot of sense. Or maybe there's something else down there that we just don't know what it is as of yet. Or maybe that's how where you actually activate the rocket. I'm not sure, but it's definitely got something to do with the Easter egg indeed. And then you can obviously propel yourself back up as well. Right here we get to see a load of destroyed objects and stuff like that in this medieval styled castle. And this is all going to tie into Mob of the Dead, by the way. All of the DLC will be tying into Mob of the Dead. So expect there to be some sort of big link to Mob of the Dead, and maybe we'll be seeing the Weasel on this map within the Easter egg. I definitely think the Weasel's going to be making a return within one of the DLCs, which I've talked about in depth in previous videos. Whether it's this map, I'm not sure, or whether it's another map, I'm not sure, because we see the actual Mob of the Dead plane on the Giant, and I don't think it's just been temporarily displaced, and in fact the Weasel has somehow gotten to the Giant from Mob of the Dead. I don't think the other characters will be making a return, but they could be. Then we get to see this actual section within this destroyed castle, and this could actually be within the ice caves again. I don't think so, unless they've dug underground and got some underground buildings. And guess what? The freaking bow and arrow from multiplayer is going to be in zombies, but guess what? It's now going to be, a lot better. It's going to have explosive, it's going to have flames, and this is going to be the new specialist weapon on this map. And I presume it's going to be similar to how you obtain these swords on Shadows of Evil. You're going to have to do some sort of mini Easter egg in order to get it, and this just looks amazing. They've added so much content on this map, and I'm really happy about it. And on this crossbow, guess what? There is actually 2 marks of the beast. Now, if you're unaware, the Shadows of Evil characters were cursed, and they had a symbol branded on them, which was actually the mark of the beast. And this is for some reason on this bow and arrow, which is again why I think this whole theme of Cthulhu and the Apothecans will be returning on this map. I definitely do think that's a possibility. If not, I definitely think the Shadow Man's going to have play a big part on this map, because we know that he's now inside the summoning key of which Richtofen has obtained. So there's definitely some sort of big link here to Shadows of Evil. Although Shadows of Evil didn't tie much into the storyline as a whole, as all it really was a way for Richtofen to get the summoning key, I think it's going to have more links than we first anticipated. But why is the mark of the beast on this? I'm not sure, but it's weird because it's also glowing. It's glowing red, as if it's been taken over control by some other devil-like being, maybe, because obviously the original one was like a bluish colour. And then we actually get to see the Wonder Fizz returning, which I made a video about before. And then this is crazy. We get to see some sort of power-up, or this could be a Gobblegum actually. We get to see something that could be a Gobblegum, it could be a power-up, and basically it's just propelling all of the freaking zombies away from the actual character. Now, it might not actually be a power-up or a Gobblegum, it could be something else, like some other trap. because it could be a trap, because it looks like the electric's coming from the floor. So I think you have to activate this thing. As he said, there's all of these different generators and stuff around the map, and that could have something to do with this possibly, but it's just this map just looks amazing. I'm sorry if I keep repeating myself, but I'm in awe of how good this map looks. I just hope it doesn't let me down. I wish this map was on the disc instead of instead of Shadows of Evil, because I think a lot of people would have liked Black Ops 3 Zombies a lot better if this map was the one that was the first map to actually get to play. Also, I forgot to mention that the monkey bombs are returning on this map. It was shown earlier in the trailer, but I forgot to mention it. And right here we get to see some weird objects that's propelling electric. Again, it's all to do with the generators and stuff like that. Then we get to see this trap where these the metal bars are slamming down onto the ground, and we get to see the gobblegums are returning. This map looks pretty big. Apparently it's actually 4 times the size of the Giant, so it's not massive, but it's not too big either, like Transit. And then, as I was just saying, the Cerberus is returning from Mob of the Dead. However, it's not actually the Cerberus, because it's now like a dragon version of it. And as I was saying, this map's going to tie into Mob of the Dead, and I guarantee you that this is going to be one of the huge links to Mob of the Dead is to do with this. I think this map's going to tie heavily into the hell theme, and that sort of old purgatory, and that's you know, the theme of just complete evil. And if you actually notice the actual portal that the head is coming out of, if you actually notice, doesn't that portal look very similar to the Shadows of Evil portal? Which is why I think that maybe the actual head is coming out of the Shadows of Evil portal. That's what I'm thinking. Now, I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on that, but the original Cerberus, I believe, was coming from Hell, and it was like poking its way through the different dimensions into the Mob of the Dead world, and I think this is something similar to that. Either it's coming from Shadows of Evil, or it's coming from Hell or another dimension, and that's how it's coming to this map. Now, it leads to the question, that is the Hell's Retriever returning, because that's how you got it originally on Mob of the Dead, was all to do with these Cerberus type things, or maybe this is how you get some other weapon on this map also. And then we get to see a actual clock up in the sky, not up in the sky, on the wall, which is similar to the Mob of the Dead, not the Mob of the Dead, I mean the giant clocks. And we can actually see that the gravity spikes are returning from multiplayer on this map. I'm glad that they're adding a lot of specialists on this map. Now it leads to the question, how are we going to get these? I'm not sure, but I'm just so glad that they're adding all of these Easter eggs to get these weapons on this map, because it makes the Easter eggs more rewarding when you can actually be gifted stuff, which makes it a lot better. And it seems to be a lot more powerful than the multiplayer one, because it sends the zombies absolutely flying. And right here we can see one of these generator type things. I'm not sure entirely what it is. A lot of people can actually think that there's going to be some sort of Frankenstein being on this map, and maybe these tie into that somehow. Right here we get a look at this Cerberus type dragon thing again, and then it ends the trailer, and that was an absolutely amazing trailer. But I want you to leave down in the comment section down below right now anything that I've missed from this trailer, because I'm guaranteed that there's probably a lot that I've missed, because it's hard to cover everything when the trailer's just being released. But anyways, thank you for watching the video. Make subscribe if you're not here for the latest and greatest Black Ops 3 Zombies news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.